Welcome back, Dusters and Pylons, to another edition of Talking Pylons. I'm Mike Napolitano. We've got our hosts, Mark Krasminski, and just joining us, the one and only Mark the Truth. How are ya?
Good. Unfortunately, I missed the last one, but I'm here now. So
we wanted to make sure that you were joining in the conversation and back on. Mark will be joining us as a co-host on the podcast from now on, and he'll be talking a little bit about hockey as we normally do, but also quite a lot about sports gambling. He's a big Panthers fan. We just lost Mark. That's fine. That's fine. I don't know what the hell happened there, but we'll talk a little bit about Mark as a person. We've had you on before. You were our guest for an outdoor episode with Jesse Schultz, and it was about what was that?
So that one got wild.
That one kind of went off the rails, and it was a good thing our audio sucked back then because people probably didn't want to hear what we were saying. So we'll get a little bit better this time. And now that we have all of our co-hosts in here, Mark, how are you?
What just happened there, bud?
I don't know. You kicked yourself out. Yeah.
Maybe my computer didn't want to be in this fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah, so.
No, you just did. Your computer couldn't handle all this greatness.
Speaking of greatness.
It was just like,
yeah. Speaking of greatness, you are going to be a great coach for the Jofa Dusters once we get that up and
you guys
running.
Are all going to hate me.
Yeah, so this
You thought the scene from Miracle was bad? There's no right answer to make you stop doing suicides.
Mark's already going to be making us he's already making me do suicides on my own rink. Like it's bad. So but yes, so Mark does that. Mark is also our commentator for the SHL Stanley Cup final these past couple of years, and he's been loving that. How is that for you?
It's fun. I like making the ads. You know, you put the fake ads, people that support us on the side of the rink. I go around and make up joke ads. You know, I'm sure if you follow the SHL, you've seen or heard some of the ads I've said. And I try to change it up every year. As far as the players that are in it every year, you know, it's changed. So I don't really know players. So I'll just be like, you kind of need the puck to score when someone loses the puck, because I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. So.
What did you think of this past year's game about the skill level? What was your opinions and thoughts?
One team was a lot better. One team I got sick of playing their – oh, that was your team, I think, yeah.
You know, we don't have to go there.
Playing their goal horn. You know, their goal horn got really annoying.
Well, it was nice talking to Mark, but his co-host contract is over. No, but we're going to get a lot better at that this year. We've got some good captains this year.
You're going to get a lot better at playing hockey?
Ouch. Jesus, why the hell did we bring you onto this thing?
Who asked?
Jeez.
I don't know. I didn't want to watch.
You're gonna come with the roasts and the fire comments right now, but when you're done being a commentator and you step into that goalie role, I might be stepping into the commentator, so I could probably roast the crap out of you right back. And
no. Do you see the size of me? I don't need pads. I can just sit there. Like, if I'm not drafted number 1 overall because of my size and goal, the team's going to lose.
I mean,
he's a sleeper pick of the century.
That's true. Anybody else would be the Nile Yakupov, complete total first-round bust. But and I'll still be on the rink giving you practice, so I might have to shoot a couple to your dome and then steal your dog.
Cookie knows I'm around. She knows I'm here.
She knows you're there.
She knows.
Our fourth podcast guest, Mark Levesque's dog, Cookie. So, special appearance, celeb shot. How you doing, bud?
That's what you're barking at. You hear his voice.
Hey.
I'd be barking at it too. Not gonna lie.
What's up, Stinky? Oh, your Cookie's there too.
I sound like I've gone through a meat grinder and spit out in a dumpster.
You want to hear what else went through a meat grinder?
I don't know if I want to answer.
Mhm.
Okay, so anyways, next topic. Yeah, moving on from that. We, speaking of controversialness, last year we had some comments about me not shaving the goatee. And I want to tell you, you trash pandas, you absolute waste of time pheasants. I mentioned why I couldn't shave in the last podcast. It's because I had 7 stitches in my chin.
And a Colombian necktie down to him.
Exactly. And you little rats still came at me with your comment. Shave your face. How about this? You are so broke, and you know who you are, the ones who made this comment. You are so broke that if you swiped your credit card in the gash that was in my chin, it would still decline. So get out of here. I'll kill you all. All right, I won't
It's
do
not
that.
a credit card reader, so it would obviously decline.
No, rich people, it wouldn't decline. Trust me, because I'm made of greatness. And just for that, I'm disrespecting you people. I'm eating this entire podcast. I don't care. I'm eating on you people.
Is it pizza?
No, it's pasta. You should know this. You're Italian.
Okay, I thought you were eating French fries with a fork. I was going to leave.
Listen, I'll tell you right now. Listen, I'm not even going to cut my meat. Ready? See? Yeah. Just
that
going.
Dry ass piece of chicken.
No, it's actually
no season.
It's not chicken. It's pork. But anyways,
that was an anti-season.
I'm even going to talk with my mouth full. They call that playing with the devil, playing with fire.
So
I don't care. I'm going full animal mode.
There's people that watch this that said we should be clean shaven.
Yeah. And they were upset that I had a goatee look. Well, what did you want me to do? Listen, just because of those people, I got home from the gym. I didn't even shower to come on and do this podcast. You're looking at all natural. I look disgusting. I smell disgusting. I didn't even fix the flow. So there you go. You're welcome. Look at what you've done.
Nothing's different. There's nothing different.
What's new here, bro?
You're goddamn right it ain't.
You always smell like a men's locker room.
Yeah, well, yeah. I hang out with you, so. Push your hat on the right way. What are you trying to be? Easy?
Call me Run DMC. Call me Doesn't Run DMC.
Yeah. Walks DMC.
Wait, hold on. Am I a hockey player yet?
Hey, good shit. Hey, boys.
Doesn't work with your hat.
Hey,
Tap
boys.
yourself.
Hey, boys. Hey, don't worry, boys. We're hitting the pond. Look at this disgusting flow. Anyways, another complaint we got is how much we swear, which we've already done a million times, but it was namely directed at my co-host, Krasminski. So, would you like to defend yourself?
I swear too much. I'm sorry if I fucking swear. Okay? Go kick rocks, bud. Go fucking fall down a hill.
It's a free country. We're going to say what we want.
I swear too much. I'm a grown man.
You're grown, all right.
Yeah, Mike knows. Mark knows definitely.
Man, don't know.
Yeah, we're still a dance down the line there, but
jury's still out on that one. We'll just say that.
Yeah, but yeah, I swear because it makes me cool. I think in the eyes of Mark, I'm just trying to win his approval, honestly.
So both Marks are going to swear up a shit ton on this podcast. I'll just tell you that right now, and we're going to distinguish them somehow. I try to say Crazy. I try to say Levesque. That's their hockey nicknames, rather than Tall Mark, Juicer Mark. They're both pretty much Sexy Mark at this point. So I don't know.
Regardless of if you watch the film version of all of us sitting in weird places in our house, you can tell who's who, and if you listen, you can tell by voices. But
if I say Mark, who am I talking to?
True.
Yeah. So we'll do our best not to screw that up. Speaking of screwing up, though,
Panthers are losing.
Shut up.
I wasn't going to go there with that, but that applies.
The 49ers aren't in the playoffs.
Oh, he's already digging at him.
Fucking.
This guy's leaving the podcast already just to go. He's going to get his other hat. I know what he's doing.
Sorry.
You can't fool me.
What was that again? You want to speak up?
All right, well.
That hat's too new.
It is. You got it for Christmas.
I don't like it.
Listen, he probably still has the stickers on it. Anyways, we'll get into football talk a little bit. We got to talk about some major screw-ups. That was my transition.
You were there when I took the stickers off.
Yeah, I know. I'm just chirping you, bud. Take it easy. Jesus, bud. I'm a fucking savage right now. Anyways, screw ups. Blackhawks have succumbed victims to COVID-19 protocols. We have 3 players out: Alex DeBrincat, Adam Boquist, not Dylan Strome, sorry, and Lucas Wallmark, which adds on to the injury list, IR list this year so far. Obviously, everybody knows we're already missing Taves. We don't know what's going on there. Alex Nylander. Yeah, Alex Nylander. I almost screw him up sometimes. Alex Nylander out getting surgery.
I mean, both Nylanders suck, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. As well as, who's the third guy we're missing? That was well brought up. Too bad you weren't. Why am I drawing a blank? Who's the third guy we're missing? Oh, Kirby Doc. Duh. Broke his wrist.
Yeah.
I broke my wrist. That was the most bogus thing I've seen. Just fucking hit the man. He went.
I just hate how they underplayed it. Like, you knew his wrist.
Start your podcast?
Yeah. My food's here.
My food's here too.
I just hate how they knew his wrist was broken and underplayed it. It's like, oh no, he'll be fine for the season. They're like, yeah, no, his wrist.
I love how they posted the picture with it, and they're like, oh, his wrist is sprained. It's like, it looks more than a sprain.
That's broke.
Yeah. So.
To be honest, it didn't even look that bad.
Yeah.
When I watched it, I go, you just tweaked it. That's what I do when I fucking beanie my meat. I don't fucking know. You just tweak your wrist.
Just put it back in place. That's all.
Excuse me?
just one more crank and it's there. You're good.
So I was
Going back
watching, I go, this dude's a fucking pussy. Just put some tape on it.
You are now becoming controversial, Mark, on this podcast. That's a good way to put it.
I like
not everyone. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, not everyone can play hockey. You fall, break your knees, score a goal, and get back up like nothing happened.
This man, Mark, we were skating. I had the dirtiest dangle. Broke his ankles. No, he just slipped. Went knee first, not like head first or wrist first or any first. He went knee first into the fucking ice. All you heard, it was like throwing a fucking bowling ball against a brick wall. I was like, yeah, his knee's broken. He gets up, scores a goal, and walks off.
On the day's work.
And I was like,
yep.
His knee's broken. Like, it's shattered. Like, you can donate to other people now.
Still a knee.
I mean, a little piece of history right there.
I mean, Kirby Doc sprained his wrist is broken. Like, come on, he's got to work those things out a little more. Like, what the fuck?
Well, going back to the more recent illnesses and injuries, Blackhawks are now one of the teams that have been hit by the COVID bug, which I wouldn't say caused them to lose these last 2 against Nashville because they were close in the fight, but I think those 3 players added to the roster would have definitely helped in these last 2 games in which the Hawks lost 3-2 in an overtime and 2-1 in a shootout. What do we think about that, boys? Levesque, I'll throw it over to you.
I mean, I think we're seeing what we're going to see out of the Hawks for the next few years until all these young players develop. We're going to be in games, but we don't have the veteran wherewithal that we used to. Like, we still have Kane, we still have Keith, but we don't have that, not necessarily the will to win, but they're going to keep themselves in close games, but they're just not there yet to win as a whole group. It's going to be like this for a few more years. And even then, I don't know that we're going to see ourselves go back to Stanley Cup 3 times.
Mark, what do you think?
Same thing Mark said. This team is fucking atrocious. They're not that bad. I mean, they're showing promise. They could score goals, but they're so, like I said, all the games they've been playing have gone over. So I was saying they can score goals against good teams, but their defense is absolute dog shit. Then against Nashville, who let up 8-9 goals in a game, who defense isn't the best in my opinion. They score 1-2 goals. Yeah, you could put up to COVID, but if this is what the other half of the team looks like, or three quarters of the team looks like, I just don't want to watch it then, because it's just sad. I don't say it's sad, but like they need to start scoring goals consistently. I mean, they were, but they were letting up points, and when they don't let up goals, they don't score. Which I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, you guys just came off scoring 8 goals in the last series. Now you score 3. You let up 7 goals, and you let up 4.
And we did have a good weekend against Detroit, but then again, that's Detroit who's rebuilding as well. And you look for the consistency to keep up when you're facing a declining defensive core in Nashville, and it just wasn't there. It's hard to see a bright side of this, but like you said, there's just not consistency with these new guys, and with veteran leadership lacking because of either injuries or just inconsistency from them as well. It's really hard to see this team turning it around in a year or two, like both of you said. But speaking of Detroit, we just did sign free agent defenseman Madison Bowie to a 2-year contract. Don't know much about him. Looks like he's on an entry-level deal. Could help with our D core. The biggest signing, though, that we have is a PTO for goaltender Scott Darling back in the mix. And I'm excited to see this one, especially we have a carousel of Swiss cheese in the net right now. I don't think Subban or Lankinen or even Delia are up to par to be a starter for this team just yet. Any one of them could turn it on. We've seen that from them and their play, but it's still inconsistent. So with a guy like Scott Darling, I know he's going to start in Rockford on the PTO, but you hope that he could get back to his regular form, or at least something close to it, and we start to see him in that.
Didn't we kind of see that, though, when he – go ahead.
I don't want to see him in that, though. I love Darling. I think he should stay in Rockford, but right now it's going to be a waste having him up here. He's like – think about you go out there as a goalie, right? You're playing good, but your team's laid up 20, 30 shots. And I'd be like, fuck this, dude. Versus you have those 3 guys who are young, and you're not going to make them. You're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to win the cup. So having these 3 young guys switch in and out to see which one really sets in this year, I think is smart. Because then, hey, maybe one of these get hot. They play good. They learn. They're learning. They're young guys. Bringing in Darling, like I said, he's the best goalie out of all of them. But I feel like it's going to be a waste, because if he's in Rockford, you fucking have a field day down there. He'll have fun. He comes up here every game. There's 30 shots on him, 20, 30 shots. He lets up 4 goals because, according to statistics, more shots you take, more that go in. So if you're laying up those shots, I'll be like, if I was there, I'm like, I don't want to play until you get a fucking defense. There's no point in playing a good goalie if you have a shitty defense. And last time I checked, the Hawks don't have a good defense.
Before we jump it over to Mark real quick, I'll just play devil's advocate and say Darling's not getting any younger. So I see the want and the need to bring him up later on down the line. But like we just said with this rebuild, I don't think it's going to happen, at the speed of light. And Darling's not getting any younger. So to get him even back in the net, I think would be a step in the right direction. At least get some veteran presence that these younger goalies can learn from going towards the future. And Darling may not be our starter for the next playoff run, but maybe he could at least train one of these goaltenders to be in that position when the time comes. Levesque, what do you think?
I mean, I'm looking at it as the same thing that happens every year, where they bring in someone from a past team and it's like, oh, he's the fan favorite. Everyone liked him. But you saw when they left the Hawks that, like, they weren't the same player. Like, we saw when Darling left, like, he was okay, but he wasn't great, and then he lost his job. So bringing him in, it's like, okay, if he does play well in Rockford, like, I kind of disagree with Mark. Like, if he does play well enough, bring him up, but it's like, what's the point? It's the same concept. He's not going to, like, save as many shots as he did down there. So I look at it as more or less, we're not even going to see him make it to the Hawks roster. Like, he's not going to be as good as he was, which I don't know why all of our backups end up being really good. Like, it's just an odd thing. Like, Ray Emery had starter numbers when we had him.
Rest in peace.
Doesn't make sense.
So I'm looking at the stats
So
right now.
I'm just looking at it as, we'll never see him on the main roster.
So I'm looking at the stats right now. Chicago has the 27th best defense in the league, and they give up the second most shots on goal. They've given up 275 shots on goal. And then the next one is 271, Edmonton. And then after that, it jumps down to the 230s. So there's only 3 teams above 250, and that's Chicago at Edmonton at 271, Chicago at 275, and Vancouver at 334, and they have the worst defense. So
Vancouver does?
Yeah, but like I said, no one's above 250 shots on goal. Besides those 3 teams, no one's above 240 shots on goal. Matter of fact.
Those aren't great stats.
Yeah, they put what?
Those aren't great stats, and you wish you had somebody like Jalmerson on the line to really block shots.
What is 10 shots a game going to make a difference? Like, your whole defense just isn't performing.
That's true, too, but I still miss Jalmerson. Oh, by the way, am I chewing too loud?
Yeah, take it easy, Kyle.
Yeah. Stop throwing the moose in every once in a while, too.
The warthog is like that.
So, you can bring him up, don't bring him up. I think what I'm trying to say, it doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to win games.
Yeah, it's not a difference.
You if you keep him down, like Mike, you're right. If you keep him down at Rockford, you could waste the year. If you bring him up, you're still wasting the year. This team is wasting, it's not time, you bring a veteran in, but he's gone in the next couple of years by the time you actually have a team. Because, the only thing he is now is a goalie coach. That's all he is.
And that's what I think would benefit the Hawks most. But we'll see what happens there. It's not really going to affect anything anytime soon. But what is going to affect some teams in the near future, boys, we have a huge trade to talk about that we haven't mentioned since our last podcast.
Love it. I love it.
Pierre-Luc Dubois for Patrick Laine. Patrick Laine from the Jets. Patrick Laine from your Winnipeg Jets goes down to Columbus to play for the Blue Jackets. And PLD goes the opposite direction. Chris Minsky, what do we think?
I think it's a great trade. I think Dubois Winnipeg is going to have a fucking fantastic year. I love Dubois. The reason he left was some controversy about him getting yelled at by coach, and I was like, oh, okay. But when that trade happened, I'm like, Laine and Columbus will be good. I think he'll really have a good year too under that coaching team. But Dubois, I think he's gonna be the man in Winnipeg in that Canadian division. Some of the worst defenses. He is going to fucking light it up easily.
Ludsy, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't think, it's going to be a huge splash for either team because Laine is still obsessed with playing Fortnite and looking like a caveman, which I can't complain about that. But, I think he's definitely going to put up better numbers than he did after his rookie season. Not better, but close to the same numbers. And then as far as, the other one, I don't think he's going to do much in Winnipeg. And even if he did, we won't hear about it because it's Winnipeg. So
that is true. Smaller market. Going back before the trade happened, I did see a video of one of Pierre-Luc Dubois' last shifts out on the ice, and he was out there for maybe about a minute. It was hard to tell if he was giving it his all or if his teammates just weren't passing him the puck. There was a couple times where, his teammates had the puck right next to him, and he felt it was either he was on top of them or they were just on top of him. It was hard to tell because it was an ISO cam on him. They get into the offensive zone. There's one little board battle. He has 2 men on him, and he loses the puck, and he skates right back to the bench. And that was, I believe, either his last shift or one of his last shifts with Columbus. And, you see why Tortorella kind of benched him because it could have been his effort. It could have been just the performance overall. he made it clear that he wanted to get out of Columbus, and there was an article where he said, as negotiations were going, obviously you don't take anything personally, but as they go longer and longer, you kind of start to think about stuff and situations. Well, Jarmo Kekalainen, the GM for Columbus, he really didn't understand any of this. He was very confused when Pierre-Luc Dubois came out and said that he wanted to leave. Dubois also went on to say it was a process. I was thinking about it a long time. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't, I just woke up one morning and it was a decision to make. It was something that I thought about. So he's obviously been giving it some thought over a long time. But for Kekalainen, he said there was never any problem with the negotiation of the contract. It came to a conclusion very quickly. Kekalainen was saying he felt like he was in the dark, like he didn't understand why, and he wishes that Dubois would just come out and say why he wanted to leave Columbus.
Columbus?
Yeah, I mean, it is a smaller market. There are a lot of players like Panarin. Literally all of their stars have left in the past. I mean, I don't know one guy that has stayed his whole career in Columbus. Well, but didn't he leave too for a while?
He went to the Rangers, but it was like for the final 3 seasons of his career.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still not staying with them. But Kekalainen just followed that up with that's just flat out not true at all regarding Dubois' comment about the trade and the contract negotiations going long. Kekalainen went on to say, and he knows that, so I just don't know why he would say that or even insinuate something like that because it's not true. So Kekalainen kind of in the dark here. That's the one aspect of this trade. So Pierre-Luc Dubois gets out of Columbus, which is what he wanted. The Jets get Patrik Laine out, which there were rumors that he was on the block before, and now it's happened. But of all teams for Laine to go to, it's the Blue Jackets. And they have Torts as their head coach. And he came out with a statement today as well saying something along the lines, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but there have been some comments about how his coaching style and how he rides guys and he gets on guys. And typically guys are the whipping boy. But he made it clear that he wants to give everybody an equal chance. So if Laine performs and puts in the effort, I don't think you'll hear much from Tortorella on that front, but if he sticks on the fortnight and doesn't show what he was showing in his last couple seasons at Winnipeg, it could be bad news for him. What do we think? Let's go to Krasminski. What do you think about Laine under Torts?
Well, that's why Dupree left. Torts. Dupree's not that type of guy. Like that coaching style only works with players. Like it just every hockey player can take it like that. You remember these are grown men. Some grown men don't like being yelled at. So there was I think it was last year, the Big T, you call him Big T, got in Dubuis's ear, and he just let him have it right on the bench. And right there, I was like, he's gone. I go, he's probably taken enough. He's probably out there because, like, fucking best player on the team. So I think he's because of that. And he's just not that type of player. He's gone.
I knew somebody was going to say something straight up. Go ahead. Ask me. Nope, go ahead. Ask me. It's fine.
Oh. I'm not going to ask. Don't entertain it. Don't entertain it.
I am. It's a great source of protein. I eat it with my apples. Maybe you should get some protein in you, bud. You'll figure it out, huh? Levesque, we didn't go to you on the two things we discussed. If you want to talk about Kekalainen and that aspect of the trade.
I don't know who he is. I don't.
He's the GM for Columbus.
I mean, I feel like most GMs are in the dark anyways, but if most GMs weren't old and like looked at social media, like you would know, because the same thing happened with football with Deshaun Watson. Like his GM didn't know he wanted to leave, but he said it multiple times on social media. So I feel like it's the same concept. They're out of tune. They only listen to what the agent tells them or what the player tells them. And the player's obviously not going to be like, look, I hate this team. Like, I want to leave. Like, he's going to put it in words where it's kind of scripted as to whether or not he wants to leave or not. And as far as Laine under Tortorella, I mean, if Line can take that type of coaching, I think it'll definitely help him. But I don't know if he's that type of player. Like, he comes – well, I'm not going to say he comes from that generation, but he comes from that generation where, they don't take discipline. I don't know if he's disciplined enough to turn around and be the same player he was. Because he came out of the draft and I was like, oh, shit, he's going to score 50 goals a season. But it didn't turn out like that. So I don't know if he can turn that around under that coach.
Discipline is definitely a factor. And what also might be a factor is getting a new twig, new team, new twig. And Talking Pylons is brought to you by No Name Hockey Company. Are you tired of paying extra just to have the same stick as the duster on the bench next to you? Well, now there's an easy and affordable way to customize your gear and make yourself stand out without sacrificing quality or technology in your sticks. In fact, No Name hockey sticks are just advanced as the other top-of-the-line sticks at a fraction of the cost. They have all the same curves and flexes, as well as customizable grips and colors. The pinnacle of the No Name hockey customization power is that they give you the option to make it yours by printing your name and number on the stick. I am an official No Name hockey ambassador, and I am always using my newest white and black taper, cane curve, 67 flex, with traditional grip and sandpaper finish blade. Yes, I like my flex low. Don't chirp me for it. I like it whippy.
I think 67. I go, my left leg weighs 67 pounds.
Getting an 80, what is it, 87 soon? Don't you worry. But I do like it a little bit whippier. But this is my third stick from No Name Hockey, and they just keep getting better with each new stick. But don't just take my word for it. Get to nonamehockey.co and get your new twig today. You can also follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram with @NoNameHockey as well. No Name Hockey. Respect all, fear no one, and make a name. So, that's what we got as far as trades. But we have even more COVID updates to go around. These are on the outside of the tunnel coming into the actual season. Well brought up. Dallas is now COVID-free and starting to play games again. They did make it to the Cup final last year. They lost to Tampa Bay. A little different look from them this year. They lost Corey Perry, but overall probably still kind of the same team. I knew they lost Walmart to the Blackhawks. What do we think about Dallas, boys? They're coming out of the gates hot.
His name is Walmart.
It's Walmart.
Walmart.
You guys are both Marks. You should be happy. Somebody's named
His
kind of like
name's
you.
Walmart.
No.
What do I think about Dallas?
Yep.
It do not matter. Florida Panthers are coming in second. Tampa Bay is coming in first. After that, it don't matter.
I mean, we did do our predictions last week, but I don't think Mark or I had Florida in second. I did have them making the playoffs, though, so you're welcome. I do believe
Florida in second?
Yep.
Is that what you just said?
Yes, sir.
This guy's riding the bandwagon so hard on these guys.
Bandwagon.
I mean, you've been a fan for a while, so I won't call you a bandwagoner, but now they're just starting to get good, and you're overhyping it. I don't think there's a second-place team, but
I overhyped them when they were
the
Blackhawks in Florida.
Just
I
because
was overhyping them then.
Just because they have more fans than the majority of the arenas this year doesn't mean that they're going to be getting very far. They still got to make playoffs and prove themselves first. That did not happen this year. They got knocked out in the play-in round to the New York Rangers. But going back to Dallas, there were some interesting comments sections, I have to say, on an Instagram post. So Dallas announced that they were going to open up stadiums to fans, and in the same week, the locker room of the actual Dallas Stars players broke out with COVID outbreak, so they had to delay the start of their season. The comments section lit them up. There were people in there saying, of course it's the Texas state, meaning Texas still has high numbers of COVID, and they were calling out the stupidity of opening up your stadium when you're still one of the worst states. However, there were a lot of Dallas Stars fans in the comments that took that as the Stars should go back to Minnesota for some reason. I don't know where you get that, because one of the comments back, I wish I knew some Instagram handles. I'd call people out and we could go smother them in their comment sections. But they were like, oh, it would have been the same thing if this team was in Minnesota. It's like, hey, nobody was telling you to move your team back to Minnesota.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
What are you working on?
Talk.
Hey, Mrs. Krasinski. Dude, we
Well,
need
what
to,
is it? What's the fucking important
I
here?
want you to look at the light up.
we just need to have my mom walk in on me now. And all three of our moms will be walked in on us. Oh my God. But yeah, so some Dallas Stars fans took that as a shot that they should move back to Minnesota. Nobody said that. You can have your team there. It's just don't be stupid about COVID. It's a real thing, and don't open your stadium when your state's still struggling. What do you guys think?
I mean, I agree. I think fans coming into stadiums is fine, but if you're in a state where, it's a major issue, that shouldn't be your first priority, have fans there. Like, use the fake noise as much as I hate it. But, like, I don't know. Like, Florida having it, like, they still have high numbers, but they're not having any issues. Like, I think it just goes about, like, how you look at it. And it wasn't even like fans went in and were like, all 30,000 fans or whatever that went there got COVID. It was the players. Which that comes down to the players, not the team's location.
I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Having fans and players getting COVID, they go through separate tunnels.
Yeah.
That's true.
It doesn't correlate to me. I mean, if you think about it like this, you already live in a state that's high probability of getting COVID, high chances, right? So no matter what, your chances are high. Because you have fans in there, the players risk level doesn't, because they're not interacting with the fans. They go in the locker room, they have their own exits, own cars. They don't even talk to fans anymore. But if you're living in a state with a high chance, Dallas getting it, Dallas Stars getting COVID, there's no correlation with them letting fans. It's just them living in Dallas.
That's a good point. I think the decision should have been, they should have kept the stadium closed more so for the fans' safety rather than regardless of whether the players got it or not. There is a huge glass partition in between players and fans. You are opening up the facility to more fans.
Big words, but
yeah, you are opening the facility up to more fans. However, does that really increase the players' chance of getting it? I don't know. I mean, you could look at it two different ways. I definitely agree with your way of thinking and that the players are very separate. Hockey's a game where the players can't really get that close to the fans unless it's off-ice stuff. That was you? I thought it was your dog. What are you doing?
Not a penny.
But yeah, I mean, I just it's an interesting conundrum. Good word. But I thought the comment sections were funny. Another team that broke out with COVID though was Carolina, and their games got delayed.
Pause. Going back to the comment section, you actually read?
I thought it was funny. The first comment I saw,
red, like a color.
Yeah, this color is red, and if you have it on, you're a communist. So you guys are both communists. Only my head is a communist.
And your ears.
You're still a communist. My ears are red. Oh yeah, because I got these broke headphones. I'm testing out a new microphone for all of you, so I don't get to wear my AirPods because apparently my audio was bad last year. But these are some broke boy headphones, so I might just
I'm using
have to do
an old
this.
iPad, so you get what you get.
It's true. You sound pretty good though. Not gonna lie. You're not as nasally. You don't have as big of a nose. But
Been told I have a perfect nose.
I've been told that by myself, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, Carolina with COVID, which delayed some of the Blackhawks games, as well as some other teams.
They were going to get clapped anyway. Carolina's good.
Yeah, Carolina, we had them in the playoffs. I think I had them as my second place team rather than the Florida Panthers. But Levesque, I'd like to hear what you think about this.
Who, me?
Yeah, your name's Levesque, right?
What am I talking about? Carolina having COVID?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen. Every team's going to go through it where the majority of the players get COVID. They have to cancel games. It's just a matter of whether or not they get it back on track and continue to play their games. Like, it's not going to matter. It's not going to take away from the fact that they're a good team. Like, okay, Hawks are going to play them later on now because the games got delayed. Still going to lose. Doesn't matter.
Would you correlate this to the MLB and try to play the season the same way they did over the last summer when teams got COVID in baseball?
What did they do?
I believe St. Louis.
Oh, it was like what?
I believe St. Louis, the Cardinals, got their season kind of cut short, and they had to just play like doubleheader after doubleheader just to kind of try to make up. And they still didn't even finish with the same number of games, but they did a percentage-based ranking of the teams, I believe, at the end of the season to see who made playoffs. I don't think St. Louis was close. Actually, no, St. Louis made playoffs, didn't they?
I believe.
Yeah, they had some horseshoe up their ass and once again made playoffs.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea, but I'm not gonna like say you miss like a week of games, so you have 2 games that week, and you miss them because players got COVID. Like, I don't think it should go down to that if you miss 2 weeks. If it gets to the point where like you miss 3 or 4, almost a month, or that is a month. I don't know. I'm not smart. Like if it gets to that point, then yeah, play a shortened little tight schedule at the end of the season just to try to make that up. I'm not saying do a doubleheader because the hockey players playing a doubleheader is ridiculous. A baseball team has more players where having the same pitcher each game.
And it's less on your body, baseball. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And let's also point out the fact that baseball that those games get played every day back to back, whereas hockey maybe you have a day in between. So maybe you just lose your day of rest and you have to play back to back nights. I think it's a little better.
It's having a doubleheader, like you play Chicago at noon, and then at 7 you play like Detroit. Like I'm pretty sure players would die.
Yeah.
Or you play Chicago again. How about we should change the 6 periods?
Yeah.
2 games.
Oh my God! Yeah, ultimate winner. You don't win after the 3rd period. You just go into the 4th period.
Could you imagine like if that game went to overtime?
Jesus, you get into a 7th period. Now you're talking Tampa Bay and Columbus from last year's playoffs. Jesus, you know how much fruit they'd have to have in the locker room just to keep guys alive?
A lot of bananas.
Fruit.
A lot of bananas.
That would be the least of my worries is eating fruit. Like, I need a ventilator.
Your worries now.
I need a ventilator. I need blood.
Yeah, I would just be looking down at my watch the whole time and seeing what my stats are. Oh, and I should mention, I have the hockey.
You'll have a lot of time to do that when you're on your bench.
I hate you so much, but I have the Hockey Tracker app, which is an awesome app. If anybody has we're throwing out some free ads here. We're not sponsored by them, but if anybody has the Hockey Tracker app, you can't see because it's on my wrist, but you could choose which workout you're doing as far as hockey goes, and it'll actually log your shifts, tell you your speed, tell you your VO2 max. You could log in how many goals and assists you got, and it'll track
zeros you put up there.
Oh, plenty of zeros, except for in the plus minus section. Those will be minuses. Don't worry.
We're not having a plus minus.
I won't count it.
It's gonna be so negative that they're just gonna be like, you know what, we're gonna stop counting. You're at negative 200, so we're just gonna be done. I'll be like, but coach, I play defense. It's fine. You don't play a 200-foot game, bud. But yeah,
I'm definitely not. Fuck you mean? You think I'm a back check?
No, absolutely not. I've seen you forecheck. You won't back check.
Exactly.
Actually, I've seen you lack of forecheck, so I'll see you lack of back check.
I'm just gonna check. I'm just gonna lay dudes out.
That involves catching up to people. So, like you said before, you better start getting those runs in. And a Hockey Tracker app will do that for you. So plug them.
That was a great little segue.
It was. They're not an actual ad of ours. I just wanted to let people know, because in the hockey community, it's really hard to find apps and whatnot and get in touch, and especially something that'll log your workouts. Like if I just turned on my regular workout app that I use at the gym, it's not going to log me skating. It thinks I'm taking steps rather than skating, and so it will really decline my numbers. Like you don't take as many steps when you're skating because there's a whole glide phase. You're wheeling around out there, and it's like I would log into my regular workout app and it'd be like, you're not doing anything but maybe walking, and I'm like, no, I'm busting my ass. I'm skating hard. So this one adapts to that, and it's very good. Yeah, yes, I am
hard.
Well, soft, but
Here, you know what? You want a hockey app? Here, we'll develop an app. Every day I tell every individual person how many suicides they have to do. Depends on my mood. I might wake up and be like, hey, you're good today. Have a chocolate bar. No suicides.
And I'll be
Next day I might wake
committing
up like-
suicide after that.
Next day I might wake up and be like,
Don't do suicide, kids.
I don't want to
Not
go to work.
cool.
100 suicides.
100 suicides. So I'll do 99 suicides on the ice. And then the last one, I'll just be like hanging from my deck from the noose. You're going to kill us all, Mark. You're the worst captain ever. And you haven't even started. Coach, sorry. I'm the
Not
captain.
a captain.
Yeah, because I am. See how you like that segue?
Yeah, you're the worst captain. I don't even know who your coach is.
Yeah, you're the worst captain ever.
I don't pay attention to coaches.
You will.
Just Jesse. I won't pay attention to you.
No, Jesse's the
Fine,
fighting.
he's still going to tell you to sit on the bench.
Yeah. If anyone's gonna tell you to sit on the bench, it's gonna be Jesse the most.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to
Like,
that.
if you think Jesse's showing up to a game sober enough to function,
You think
Not
I
happy.
am?
Do you think any of us are?
I will.
No. Mark's going to be the only sober one there. We're going to have to throw you out on the ice and play for us because we're going to be like, Coach, we're too buckled. We can't do this. But you mentioned other hockey apps, and Mark and I just found one this week, Chris Minsky, that is for hockey players. It's a hockey community app. It's called the Hockey Players Community, right? Yeah. Pavel Barber actually posted it in his video, and it's like a whole social media site. There's too much glare. There's a whole social media site where you can literally have every post about hockey. So no Instagram models to distract you, shaking their booties to some new Migos song or whatever. You just get straight up.
Migos song that came out.
What's
Go. What name Amigo song? Go.
that? Give No Fucks. That's a good one.
there's a Wocket in my pocket.
There's a pocket in my docket.
There's a
Fight
Xanth
night.
in my lamp.
Fight Night was good. That was one of the earlier ones. I was around back then. OG fan since day one. Can you stop? You're creeping me out. I'm just trying to show the people that you could get trade updates, news alerts, find out where to buy the best stuff, which is obviously going to be nonamehockey.co. Who's that? Oh, the Henderson Silver Knights, who are now the farm team for the Vegas Golden Knights. They are no longer affiliated with the Chicago Wolves. The Wolves are affiliated with the COVID-stricken Carolina Hurricanes now. So that's an interesting one. I did want to mention Vegas, and I know I'm kind of jumping ahead. I don't know if you guys heard, the other night, Vegas, their coaching staff broke out with COVID, or were following COVID protocols, so they couldn't come and coach the game. So instead, their GM coached them, and some of their coaching staff from Henderson, which is, I believe, still in Vegas, which is why they got them as their farm team, came up the road to also help coach. So that was an interesting predicament. You have your AHL coaching unit coaching your team, as well as the GM was down on the bench. It's not the first time that's happened, but what would you guys say if you had your GM out there looking at you? What about you, Crazy?
I wouldn't really care because I'm the best player out there, and just I would know I'm doing great. No, I think it doesn't matter. I mean, he's always watching out there. Just that really shows if he knows hockey, if he knows what he's doing. I mean, he's not supposed to be a good coach. He's just your general manager. He's more of a businessman at that point. But I think he's just down there to be a presence down there. I don't really think he's like coaching. I think he just kind of let the dogs run. So
I believe his name is Kelly McCrimmon.
No.
Okay.
If my coach name is Kelly, he's not my coach.
No, GM. Well, yeah, technically the coach of that game, but yeah. What do you think, Mark? Have you ever seen something like that?
No, I've never seen that, but I don't think it matters. Like any sport, the players still watch film. They know who the goalie is. They know what his weaknesses are. They know how to play against the team. Like, your coach obviously is going to be able to help you change stuff on the fly. Your GM's not. But, I mean, you still go in there with the same game plan, so I don't think it really matters for one game. Like, if it was the rest of the season, they might want to figure something out. But for one game, I think it doesn't really matter.
I believe Mike Milbury was one of the only other GM/coaches, but that was set up purposefully for that reason. I believe it was when he was GM for the Islanders. He didn't hire a head coach because he was going to be GM and coach. But that was a deliberate move. It wasn't because of any COVID protocols, obviously. And I don't know. I don't. Do you think we'd see something like that in today's game regularly?
No, because that's a lot for a general manager to handle. I got to worry about not player morale, but I got to worry about keeping my players happy. Doing what's best for the team because it's a business. Like GMs look at everything as a business, not necessarily like a team. And then to have to coach them and be like, well, I'm trading this guy, but I also got to tell him to go out there and score 2 goals and play defense. I don't think that would work.
Yeah, that'd be weird. If you had to find a coach for your team in a pinch, I'm sure the Hockey Players Community app could probably act like a LinkedIn, kind of post on there, say, hey, we're in need of a coach. But you know what another app is that is really great for people to use is Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Best of all, it's free to use and allows you to record your episodes from your phone, tablet, or laptop. And the end result is that your podcast can be heard from platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. We here at Talking Pylons have actually only been using Anchor since last week, but we've already fell in love with how easy it is on our jobs. And if your podcast grows enough in popularity, you could even start making a profit. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Yes, love Anchor. Speaking of an anchor, I keep saying speaking of as my transmissions. Nah, not transmissions, transitions. This guy's making a transition over here. What are you doing, Big Shoots?
I'll show you what I'm doing. Sexually.
Nope, don't want to see anything then.
No, sir.
Nope.
Mark, I already showed you this, you know what I'm saying?
Turn your camera off. Nobody wants to see this. Mark's over here taking pictures. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
It says someone that I'm going to ask to watch it, so they'll know exactly that
ooh,
moment.
Is it a girl?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Is it more Matt?
Don't be name dropping on this podcast. Don't be slandering anybody. If he's got a girl, let him have his girl.
Don't know it. Hold on.
Don't talk about his shouty. I sounded so white there.
I got it now.
But we do want to talk about girls this episode. Who are you guys seeing? No, I'm just kidding. Erica Nardini, CEO of Barstool Sports. Did you guys see everything that went on there?
No, I was just saying, when you sent me that, Mike, I was like, wait, who is this? I had no idea who this broad was.
Oh, did you send it on Instagram?
I believe I did. You didn't check that. This guy doesn't check all the things I sent.
I was at work.
Instagram.
I literally got home and
That's
plugged
not
in
an
my
excuse.
iPad to do this.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Good job. This is off to a great start. Mark Krasminski, what did you think of that whole situation?
That was a fucking joke.
So
what the fuck is happening? They have a team. They don't have a team. They're not doing something. They're doing something.
So a little bit of backstory. Erica Nardini apparently wanted to be a part of the National Women's Hockey League. She wanted to buy a team. And she took Barstool from being the small company that I had only kind of heard about and turned it into what it is today, which is a multi-billion-dollar company. And she's a woman, and she's behind this. I mean, she's done a great job. I don't see why you wouldn't want to be partnered with her. This guy. I can't see why they would have wanted to go a different route. If she wants to support you, she even said that she supported them through fundraising or notoriety in the past. She's had countless players from that league on her podcast, or she's done things with them. But any time it came to her face being associated with that league, they've shot her down. So they literally just want her to donate and not actually participate. They don't want to be associated with her, but they like the signed checks that are coming in. I think it's ridiculous. So she kind of wants to start her own league now. And I'm totally for it. This gets me pumped to watch women's hockey. Not that I wasn't before. I do watch the women's hockey when it comes on to the Olympics. I don't really watch this other women's hockey league. It's just, it's typically on when the NHL is on. Of course, that gets more notoriety. I think there's things that they could do to get that notoriety, and this would have been one of them, and they shot themselves in the foot. Yes, Levesque, what did you want to say?
Oh, no, I was just copying him because he rose his hand.
Oh.
Yeah, see, my hand's raised. Do you see it?
Is there I thought that was only on Microsoft Teams. Can you raise hands? Oh, yeah, I can't see. Oh, I'll lower your hand. All right, yes. Yes, sir. What would you want to say?
Oh, wait, lower hand. You did it for me.
I did.
So, first of all, I didn't know there was a women's hockey league. I
don't think a lot of people did.
I thought it was going to talk starting, but like I said, they can play hockey. I have nothing against them playing hockey. They can do what they're saying. Am I going to watch it? No. I think for them to be successful, here's the problem. For them to be successful, they can't do it the same time as the NHL. They have to do it when the NHL is over, so there's still hockey to watch. And you're like, you know what? It's on. Second off, they're not going to have enough money to pay any of these women. You look at the the best example is the WNBA. Those women are paid so little because name one person you know with the WNBA jersey, with a WNBA T-shirt, with a WNBA brand anything, who buys tickets. The NBA brings in over 1.1, it's more. I think it's up to $4 billion a year. So they have money to pay their players. The WNBA hasn't even hit $10 million, and that's basketball, the most popular sport in America, besides baseball, football. But that's one of the most popular sports.
Yeah, I would say
hockey,
those other two are kind of in front.
I would say
maybe not so much baseball these days.
Yeah, but I would say hockey's least popular. That's just safe to say. And now women
of the four major sports, probably. Yeah.
But now women playing the least popular sport. You already look, these NHLs don't get big contracts because they don't make the same money as the NFL does, the NBA. But now you bring this into it. I just think it's a disaster waiting to happen. I mean, you hope it happens, but you're going to need donation after donation after donation. It's not self-sustainable. That's it. It's just not self-sustainable. So I think the only way they can have a chance is if they start their season after the NHL finishes theirs. When there's no hockey, so there is hockey to watch. That's it.
That's a good point. I do want to point out that it's, like with the WNBA and with this women's hockey league, it's not because they're women that they don't get the notoriety. I mean, history would say yes, that male versions of sports preceded all of this and got more notoriety because those were the leagues that were founded beforehand. But, I mean, I'd watch a women's game. I don't know when they're on. There's no advertising for it. I think the advertising needs to be better. And they're still going to argue that they're not getting paid the same. And it's like, well, then, you need a league that is going to get you as much advertising and revenue as some of these other pro sports, so that I know when you're, like, the average person knows when your game's on, and I'll watch it, and then you'll earn money, and then you'll get paid just as much for doing similar, if not better job. I'd say a lot of those women hockey players are better than some NHL players, especially a lot of the ones on the Blackhawks these days. But, I mean, it's not a case of man versus woman. It's a case between league versus league, and I just don't think their league does a good enough job. I think Erica Nardini could do a great job and get a league to that status, whether it's her own or if she partners with the women's hockey league already existing, but I don't see that happening now. How about you, Mark? Not Krasminski, the other Mark.
Figure it out.
Sort myself out.
I mean, I look at it from the perspective, like, with the way the world is going, and, like, we're going into, I mean, we already started the age of, like, social media, and, like, look at the impact that Barstool Sports has had on everything. Like, anytime you talk about sports, somehow, some way, Barstool Sports ends up being part of the conversation. So, like, I don't think the time is right for something like that. Like, whether it's a women's league or a men's league or not, I don't think the time is right yet for something so focused on social media to be the one trying to pursue it. Like, there's not enough focus on social media for that yet. Like, 3 years down the line, if she were to try to start doing this, like, I think social media would be at the point where, like, she could just say one word about it and people would know about it, people would try to watch it, and people would follow it. Like, because look what happened with, like, the XFL. And there was another football league that started, like,
good example.
They used social media as that main platform because, like, WWE brought back the XFL, like they invested money into it, but they're not going to take away from the money to like portray and like promote wrestling, which is their main focus. And it kind of flopped. Granted, it flopped simply because COVID started, and like they're not going to continue to try to make a season. But I think with like the way the world's going and like going into the age of social media and being in the forefront of it, I think something like that being driven by social media is very like achievable. Like if she wanted to go that route and have it be where not necessarily word of mouth, but like she posts something, someone shares it, and it's like, oh, this game's on tonight, and like all of a sudden you got 30 people in one house watching it, and then 600 other people find out about it. So like, I think something like that could grow. It's just not time yet.
So I don't want to be that guy, but
you're gonna.
It doesn't matter how popular you are. People just don't give a shit. The WNBA, everyone knows it. Everyone knows it's on TV, but no one cares because I hate to say it, it's going to make people mad. Just look up the top plays from the 2019 season WNBA and then the NBA. Number 7 for the WNBA is a fucking layup. It's just the problem is the people don't watch it because it's not entertaining. It is entertaining if it's just that, but you have to compare it. It's just in your mind mentally, you compare it. Every time you sit there, you're like, they're not as good. You always say they're not as good. This isn't as fun.
I think
at least we can say though.
Go ahead.
Fuck up. At least we can say though that the WNBA isn't scripted like the NBA is.
He's got a point there. Sick
How do you
league NBA.
No one watches it.
Let's flop all the time.
But
I did want to say though, I think it depends on the sport itself too. I mean, you're talking about, a highlight reel being subpar compared to its male counterpart. I don't want to say that there's going to be sicker plays in any kind of women's hockey league, but I mean, I think to be at that level in women's hockey, especially you look at the world stage of when they're in the Olympics, you need to be fairly skilled, and you're still going to get skill plays out of it. I mean, these are still people skating up and down the ice, making sick plays and sick passes. I mean, of course, it's not going to be at your NHL level. I will say that. I'm not trying to slander women here or say that it's lesser than men. It's just there have been programs for men that have brought them to that level for years and years and years. And the women are just getting there. And you see the things that like Kendall Coyne Schofield and, other women have started for
Can you
girls.
name any other women?
Yes. Put me on the spot. Yeah.
There's one name.
There's one name I can name, and I'm drawing a blank, and she's a Chicagoan, and she's married to – why am I drawing a blank? She's a gold medal winner. I look so bad right now. Go ahead, say it. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, I don't know if I'm thinking of the same one, but Hillary Knight.
Oh, no, yeah, Hillary Knight is one. No, the one I'm thinking of was shoot, why am I'm so bad? I dropped my phone. I'm going to really have to – it was Kendall Coyne Schofield's mentor and her idol growing up. And she played for Team USA. She was from Chicago. And her name escapes me right now, and I look like such a dummy right now. Hold on.
I can't name any, so.
And is it bad to say that I knew who Hillary Knight was before I found out she played hockey? Like, I didn't know she played hockey.
What were you doing over there?
Well, no, I saw her do an interview, like, talking about hockey, but I didn't know she played, and I was like, oh, she's kind of cute. And then I followed her on Instagram, and also I was like, oh, she plays in the Olympics. Oh, shit.
Listen, all I got to say is, you want these leagues to succeed, but at the end of the day, for me, you're always going to be comparing it to the counterpart. And it's just, it's proven it's not as fast. Any male sport versus female sport, it's not as fast. I don't say it's not as aggressive, not as physical. It could be, but it's not, they're skilled. I'm not saying they're not skilled, but it's just not.
I'm very mad. Cami Granato.
Who?
Cami Granato.
Never heard of her.
I just realized
Have you ever heard of Tony Granato?
Have you been hearing me all right?
Yeah.
Because this mic was off the entire time, but it's plugged in. Do I sound any
talk
different?
Very loud.
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters.
Oh, well, I'm Italian. What do you want? Dude, why couldn't I? Cammy Granado. She's a freaking legend. And I couldn't. Anyways, it's fine because you guys didn't know who she was either. Have you at least heard the
know who
name?
she is.
Okay, good.
But
This guy didn't.
Mark doesn't even know his name.
Yeah, we can call his name all podcast and he won't respond. But yes, Cammy Granado, Kendall Coyne Schofield, Hillary Knight, all great players. Amanda Kessel. I'd watch a league with them in it.
Relative?
What?
She related to Phil Kessel?
She is. She is Phil Kessel's sister.
Can we all agree that Phil Kessel is the GOAT?
I was about to say, don't you talk ill about Phil Kessel.
Yes,
all
well,
Like, the man can literally
Phil the Thrill.
He is
the man can
the
go home and eat 30 burgers and then turn around and be like, I'm going to score 3 goals.
He is the definition of a fucking wagon. When I say a wagon, picture Phil Kessel. Like, his whole body and him scoring.
Sounds good.
He's built like a broken wagon.
Shots fired.
Phil Kessel, you're the
He's
first.
he's still
Mark
the
Levesque
GOAT.
hates you. Mark Levesque hates you. I love you, Phil.
I was
Phil,
the one that said he's the GOAT.
Levesque's saying that he belongs in beer league. He doesn't belong in that NHL. How do you take that?
If he belongs in beer league.
You said he was a broken
beer
wagon.
MVP.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I'm going to try to recruit him for our team. That's
Hey,
what this has turned into. I'm going to try to recruit Phil Kessel.
Phil Kessel and beer league were set. Speaking of beer league, did you guys see that video of the guy jumping the bench in beer league? Like, he went into the opposing team's bench to take a run at some guy. The caption was
Oh, sorry, keep on.
the caption was, "Settle down, Toby. It's Tuesday night in beer league."
So all I gotta say is that guy's teammates, not the guy who jumped, the guy that got fucking smoked. There's a couple guys who jumped in. His other teammates are fucking assholes. That dude's head would have been off his body.
Yeah, they were
That
just
dude-
sitting there on the bench looking at the whole situation.
That dude who jumped over the bench and hit that guy, if I was the teammate of the guy who got hit, that dude would have to be taken away in a hospital. What my fist would do to his face. If that happened to me and he wasn't took away on a stretcher or his nose wasn't broken or jaw wasn't broken, I would never talk to my team again. Like, you watch the guy skate up all slowly like, hey, guys, take it easy. Dude, he just fucking swanton bombed him off the fucking ice. And you're just like, oh no, get off. I would have been fucking, the dudes would have been fucking dead.
I can't wait to see that in real life when we get the dusters started. Did you
Oh my
see
God.
this, Mark Levesque?
Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think?
I mean, where were his coaches? What kind of coaches are those?
Yeah,
Actually, they ran and hide and like went in the hallway.
all beer league teams need coaches. That's why we're the greatest.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Like you ever seen a video of a coach just start throwing punches? I don't even care if it's my own players. If you're in the way, I'm gonna throw a punch. Something like that happens.
I'd have to rewatch the video, but I don't even think I saw the refs come close to breaking it up. Like, they were probably towards the end of the video, but I just saw players, and I was like, what is going on here? I thought it was like an open skate. Turns out it's Timmy's Beer League game on Tuesday night.
Like, I think this is the one you didn't fucking send me.
Me? Yeah, I don't think I sent that one. I just posted that on my story because the caption was funny, so I posted it with my story. I post way too much hockey stuff on Instagram, but I don't care. I don't care. Come at me. I don't care. Don't care. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want. It's probably not.
I'm going to find it.
But yeah, speaking of Beer League, Dusters update. Since we've last spoke, Mark Krasminski, who is currently scrolling through Instagram, looking at all those Instagram cheeks, got full pads and has taken his first rip out on the ice in full pads. And I'll let the man himself explain the new feeling of all pads.
It's amazing.
Well brought up.
It is. You feel. I felt invincible. I went out there. I was like, "Fuck it! I'm just gonna start flying everywhere. I'm gonna lay in front of pucks, get hit. Who fucking cares? I feel invincible." So I get hit with the puck where there's no padding, but it was amazing. You're skating, you're like, "Fuck it! I'm just gonna fly." If I fall,
Or you take one off.
What?
Or you take one off your cage and then you're immediately just like, I'm done.
Well, I'm wearing a cage, so fuck you.
That's what I
Yeah.
just said.
But what? I mean, even taking one off the cage, you're fucking fine. It's a fucking cage. Have you ever taken a fastball off the helmet as a catcher?
I've taken a fastball without a helmet.
That's not what I asked. Is that what I asked? No. I don't fucking care if you take one to the dome. We all have. But
Yeah,
you're wearing
a couple
helmet.
times.
You
Couple
get hit.
times. That's why I am the way I am.
I mean, have you played Post with me?
This man is like a human pylon. Like, I know this is talking pylons. This is perfect for him. This man, like when you're trying to play post and shoot for the post, he'll reach out his hand, not even in goalie pads, no glove, no blocker. He'll reach out his hand and block a shot. It's like, bro, that puck's coming at you at like 60 miles an hour. You didn't want that hand?
No.
Jesus,
It's fine. I want to win.
My God.
All I can do in Post is play defense, so.
We're just going to get Chara out there next time and have him take some shots, see if you still want to stay in front of the posts.
I'm stupid enough to do it. That's the issue.
This just in, folks. Mark Levesque said he would take a Zdeno Chara slap shot right to the dome. No padding. So let's get that hooked up. Zdeno Chara, if you're watching this, we need you out here. Do a little experiment.
I'll do it.
Never mind.
R.I.P.
Abort mission. This guy's way too crazy.
This is what I'm talking about. I literally just found this post. Is that the one we're talking about? The different one.
Then why are you bringing it to my attention then? Oh, I did see that one.
Boom. That's a good teammate.
Yeah.
I would have dropped the gloves already.
That was a dirty hit, I have to say.
You're behind and go, what's the fucking point? That's a good teammate. You fucking step up and
usually on those you see some people in the comments where they're like playing devil's advocate or they're on the other side of it and they're like, well, he did kind of turn late and guy couldn't pull up. I believe that comment section was just straight up, yeah, dirty hit. And rightfully so.
Well, even so, it's a pretty big hit. Well, it looks like a fucking beer league.
Yeah.
And if you're a guy like me, you're just itching for a fight. You're just like, fuck this, scrap it.
Yeah, even if it's on the backyard rink, right?
Okay. So, you know how you just said I'll take a shot from Zdeno Chara?
What? Yeah, about like 5 minutes ago.
This is the update I just got on my phone.
Chara's powerful wash.
Chara's powerful blast.
Yo, I just got that too.
You're gonna be taking a lot of powerful blasts.
He heard us. He heard us all the way from Washington.
That's scary.
Are they playing in Washington? Looks like it. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I have NBC Sports connected through my TV provider, and there are no live games that I can watch on right now for some reason, which is ridiculous. I can't watch hockey. I'm literally just watching an AutoZone commercial. It's fine. It's cool. Not that I wanted to watch hockey.
Because you are literally spare parts, bud.
Oh, wait. Here's the third mom of the podcast. Did you want to interrupt? Their moms did, too. It's fine. Hi, Mom. She just gave me She doesn't like me today. I'm getting sold. She kept the receipt.
I don't like you.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like you any day.
Yeah.
Nobody does. I'm just telling you. People follow me because they want to see me fail all the time. It's okay.
I mean, welcome to my life.
But I didn't fail last night as I took the self-created Pink Whitney Gauntlet Challenge. You already look like you have something to say about this, but I'm going to have you hold your thoughts. Have you
hold your tongue, heathen.
Hold your comments. Mark Krasinski was my cameraman. We had to do a couple different takes because I suck. But when I finally got it down, I think I did all right with my performance. I think I could have done better. I think looking back, the stick handling 50 mLs could have been less spaced out, give myself more of a challenge because I think it was a little too easy. I think I did it a little too slow. And I'll just, next time I take it, I'll come back stronger. But success of a video. And what do you think, Krasinski? We're going to go to you because Mark the Truth over there is kind of pissing me off because he looks like he has to roast me for a second.
It was a good prototype gauntlet. Good prototype. I still think a gauntlet needs to be a little more, couple more. Since it's the Pink Whitney Gauntlet, the only time you actually drank Pink Whitney was at the end. Now, if you add throughout after each thing, killing one of them, doing different types of Pink Whitney drinks, going through each one, then that's a gauntlet. Like you are going through the Pink Whitney ropes.
Okay. All right. So next time we maybe make an obstacle course, we just have to have people standing by on the side that'll just help me down a 50 ml, like a little shooter.
Yeah.
and then I go to the next obstacle. I like that. It's a good idea. What would you like to say, Truthy? What
All
would you
right,
want to say?
Ethan. Say it.
Liquor doesn't freeze.
Yeah, this guy's calling me out. Okay, so I have to admit, half of those bottles were filled with just straight up pink lemonade. So when the temperatures dropped to about 10
Which is
degrees
better than
last night,
Pink Whitney.
shh, talking, Jesus. So when the temperatures got to about 10 degrees, they expanded within the Pink Whitney bottles and cracked the glass. I had to sweep up so much glass to make sure there was none on my ice. In my defense, though, I will say, all of those Pink Whitney bottles obviously had Pink Whitney in them at one point. We kept them because we knew we were going to do something with them. So it's not like I was scamming the company and just taking their bottles. Yeah, there were a couple times that you were drinking some Pink Whit. Don't even lie. Don't even.
I had it the first time you got.
He just Mark Krasinski just tried a couple, but I mean,
That
I'm
was
not
like
saying
when you first got it.
drank it religiously like Jesse at an 18-year-old's birthday party.
Expose him.
He's not even here. He's not even here, but he might go to jail after we've said that, so it's fine. Miss you, Jesse. We'll get you out on bail money. No, absolutely not. Can we cut this? Where's our producer? Jesus. Moving on. Anyways, we're gonna go back to the bottle situation.
What are you doing?
I'm not. We're no.
Hey,
No.
you know where I was?
Saving your brother, saving your stepbrother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just shotgunning beer in the corner.
Good
No problem.
Good man.
No issues.
Why are people Snapchat? Anyways, yes. So all the Pink Whitney bottles you saw last night were originally from Pink Whitney. We couldn't help ourselves from not drinking it for so long, so we just drank half of them and kept the bottles to eventually do this. So we're not complete frauds, but I guess it's fine. It's whatever. What else did you want to say about that, Truthy?
Oh, that was it.
Oh, okay.
That was the first thing that popped in my head is
Just
liquor
wanted to
doesn't
roast
freeze.
You're just out here to expose people.
Yeah, well, we're going for a sweepstakes. Spit and Chicklets and Pink Whitney have teamed up to give away the shot dispensers, so hopefully we'll be winning one of those. They haven't liked the picture yet, and the previous picture I posted on Instagram with me, Mike Cross, and Nick Terranova, that did get some notoriety from Pink Whitney itself. So I don't know. Either they're holding out on me, or I didn't win. I didn't think I was good enough. Honestly, my skills suck, so it's fine. But that was on my backyard, ODR. Now it's time for my own segment, which I like to call, well done, Pod of the Pond. No. I'm already 0 for 1. Pod.
Dumbass.
Okay, I'm going to leave. It's fine. I'm 0 for 1. Coach said take me off. I'm -1.
Shit.
I never put you on.
Pond of the Pod, where we look at the best ODR. This may only be a winter segment. We might not be able to do this all throughout summer. The best ODR I've ever seen has to be this one up in Toronto. It was built by a guy named David Weiss. It has a huge Toronto Maple Leafs logo in the center. It's about the size of, I'd say, it's probably a little bit bigger than my rink. Full boards, ads on the boards and everything, full glass. There's a separate little room where you can kind of take your shoes off and grab some hot chocolate, kind of, warm up your pads and stuff like that. Put your pads on as well, so you could go full pads. He has light and speaker systems that sync up, a whole PA system. It's phenomenal. I mean, the details that go into this rink are just incredible, and the work they probably put on to put this on is just, it's phenomenal. It's definitely backyard goals, and I wanted to start this segment with the best of the best that I've seen, at least. There might be one better out there. We don't know, but we're going to do our research for the future and see what else we have. But speaking of the future, we have a huge game coming up, boys. No, I'm not talking about hockey. I'm talking about the Super Bowl. And we have the defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, and we have the newbies to the contest, who have only won one Super Bowl in the past, I believe, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But they have a secret weapon they just gained this year. The man himself from New England, who has 6 rings, Tom the Goat Brady. What are we thinking about this game? Let's throw it over to you, Levesque. What do you think is going to happen? What do you got riding on this?
I don't like it at all. It's not the Super Bowl I wanted to see. But I just don't think I can bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. Like, regardless of whether or not the Buccaneers cover the spread, whether or not they're good against Patrick Mahomes or not, it's Tom Brady. But at the same time,
oh, go ahead.
I'm not done. Cut me off.
You paused.
At the same time, it's Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. So it's definitely going to be a good game. I look at it as being a high-scoring game, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's not. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the final score is like 24-17. Like, just super low, very defensive game. But I don't know. Andy Reid always has some way of being like, yeah, no, I'm going to score like 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes right now. But
face shield and all.
He doesn't have a face shield anymore, does he?
I know. It's kind of disappointing. I wanted to see him back in the face shield. Getting all fogged up, getting all heated. What do you think, Krasinski? What do you got riding on this game?
I think you boys already know. I mean, I switched, but I'll switch back. Kansas City Chiefs. And if it's at -3, you take the -3. You take the spread because, yes, you're right. I agree with Mark. You never bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. But that was the old Tom Brady. That was years ago. Patrick Mahomes is a new player you don't bet against in the playoffs. Why? Look, again and again, every time they're down, what happens? He's like, you know what? Let's just win, guys. Let me go out there and fucking just win this
He just
game.
waddles his way to the huddle and it's like, all right, we're winning.
Yeah, he does. I mean, it's just simple as that. I think the reason why they're going to win is because if you look at offensively, Brady versus Mahomes, in this case, I'm taking Mahomes. You can put pressure on Mahomes, he gets out of it. He always does. He's the magic man. Tight end, Kelsey versus Gronk, easy. Give me Kelsey. Gronk last game had 1 catch. Mahomes uses Kelsey so much, he leads the league in yards. Because he's always open because no one thinks about it. You know why? Because you have Tyreek Hill, who's just a fucking demon. Against those Tampa Bay corners, they're not the best corners. I mean, they're good, but you look at the past games, they're just not. And then you have, some other threats. And then, Tampa Bay's receiving, they're good on paper. But they could have games like where they don't touch the ball. Tom Brady gets pressured, he's not leaving the pocket. You have Tyrann Mathieu out there who's just a fucking honey badger. So he's leading that defense.
Don't even get me started on Tyrann Mathieu.
No, I'm not. So I think I'm giving it to the Chiefs. The Chiefs just are a better team, more consistent, and every game, no one bet against them. First of all, people bet against them on the Bills because they're stupid. The Bills are not even close to good compared to the Chiefs.
They're good.
I said close to the Chiefs. Close to the Chiefs. It was a cakewalk for the Chiefs. Green Bay should have beat Tampa Bay.
Green Bay made a huge mistake.
They should have.
And they were actually talking about that on the Blackhawks radio broadcast the other night, which is ironic because that's the last thing Chicagoans want to hear is about Green Bay. But they were dissecting that play where they decided to not go for it and just kick the field goal. You're down 8 points and you have Rodgers as your quarterback. Mm-hmm. I think you kind of take the chance there.
So there were a couple plays. I don't know if it was that drive, but I think it might have been that drive when there's 2 opportunities on first down with back-to-back opportunities, second down and third down where he could have ran it. He maybe would have got like 2 or 3 yards because from the angle we had, it looked like he could have made a touchdown. But like from the field angle, there was guys there. They forced him out of the pocket, and he could have taken the 2-3 yards, get better field possession on third down. and then you have a better chance instead of throwing a incomplete pass. I mean, he had guys open, but he never fucking – so – but that fourth down play was the dumbest play of the season. People, it's up there with the Marshawn Lynch incident. It's honestly, I think it's up there with what dumb play call was.
Absolutely. And also that incident for the Ravens when they threw a pick six in that conference final game just earlier that week against, or was it the week before that against Buffalo?
Yeah, but this was
huge. This was definitely Marshawn Lynch level.
And it shows he's still a young coach, but this shows that you got to go for it. You have to. I mean, Tom Brady's been running all over your defense the whole night. They're going to get the first down. You're not going to get the stop.
Rodgers should have walked into that post-game press conference and been like, you know why I'm here. But he did walk in with a huge cojones because he basically under his breath said that wasn't the call he would have made. And I have to agree with him. But I have to disagree with Mark the Truth over here because this is – I see your point, but this is the Super Bowl that I want to see. As an outsider looking in, I mean, I don't consider myself to be a huge football fan. I mean, I'll watch the Bears when they're on, but we all know how that works out in the end. I agree with you in the sense that you would like to see a couple new quarterbacks, a couple new teams in there. But for the stars to align and you to have the old versus the new, especially the new being the defending champs still. I mean, if this happened a year later, then, it's a little less hype. But you're talking about the new in Patrick Mahomes trying to repeat, and he has to do it against the already proven Tom Brady. And especially Tom Brady and the Bucs are the first team to host the Super Bowl at the same time. I mean, this is the stars aligning. And I, as an outsider football fan, I love it. I really don't know who I want to win. I really can't say who will win. The only thing I don't want to happen is for Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell to get a ring, but one of them is going to at the end of this. I think they kind of – well, I mean, he did pull a couple of antics in Pittsburgh. It was Pittsburgh, but I know there's a lot of haters out there. From an outsider, I just know that people don't want him to. So I kind of jumped on the bandwagon there and don't want him to. But, at the end of the day, it wouldn't be the worst thing, especially because you're talking Mahomes is either getting another ring or Brady's getting another ring, and that's going to be exciting to watch. I just want to watch an exciting Super Bowl because I feel like 2 years ago we had an awful Super Bowl with the Patriots. Last year was exciting with the 49ers and the Chiefs, but I felt like the Chiefs started to kind of run away with it towards that second half. This year, I think it's just going to be nonstop, and we're going to get to see a really good game.
Yeah, going back to what you said, where the stars align, I 100% agree. From a marketing standpoint, this is perfect. People that don't watch football, they know who Patrick Mahomes is. They know who Tom Brady is. So people that don't watch football and be like, okay, well, I'm going to watch this because it's two of the biggest names in football. Marketing-wise, that's almost genius as if it was a TV show. But
is it scripted like the NBA?
I'm not
the world may never know.
I'm not going there with that topic. But no, I think it is a perfect storm for them because there's still, bars are open, restaurants are open, but there's still nothing to do. People are going to have nothing to do on that Sunday. They're going to tune in and watch Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. Granted, if it was Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers, it'd still be the same concept, but
we're going to get to see both of those matchups this year, which is exciting. We already got to see one of them. We got to see Rodgers versus Brady, but now we're just going to get to see Mahomes versus Brady. So this should be interesting. We're all dead after that.
Kansas City -3. Hop on it now before the public comes on it. At -3, they're going to hit it. Even a field goal, you get your money back. They're going to win. I'm even going to bump it up to 6.5.
This guy running away with it.
Aren't they not good against the spread?
If it's above a 5. At 3, they always win by 3 or more. Always win by a field goal. And, hey, if it's a tie game, they go down and kick a field goal, hey, it's a push.
Hey, I'm gonna hedge my bets. I'm gonna bet on both. So
That's fine. I won't be betting on anything. I don't know football well enough. I just want to
100%.
sit there and watch a good game.
Chiefs. That's it. That's my last football bet of the year. Chiefs -3. Let it all
are you gonna
ride.
bet on the coin toss?
What?
Are you gonna bet on the coin toss?
I'm gonna bet on the coin toss. How long the national
The
anthem is? I
national
did that
anthem
last
is?
year. Always under. Always take the under.
Well, do you see who's singing it?
No.
Fuck. I forget, but he's definitely going under.
Because Demi Lovato last year, everyone
Is
bet
it a
over
rapper? Is he going to rap it?
because
He's going to
Demi
rap it
Lovato
fast?
likes
No,
to
he's a
hold those.
country.
Demi Lovato likes to hold those notes, and she did, but it didn't hit that. I think it was 2 minutes.
Demi Lovato's my wife. It's fine. She doesn't know it yet.
Go under. Coin toss. Tails never fails.
Yeah. And a lot of people want to see Mahomes win and the vintage Tom Brady fail.
Another bet.
But you know what will never fail you?
Mahomes
slam-
first drive touchdown. That's my last one. Mahomes first drive touchdown.
I tried, Levesque. I tried. That was a great transition. Then I got interrupted.
It was a
so.
great it was
Don't give a
it was
shit
kinda
about
It
funny
transition.
transition.
It was a C average. It was a C average, and C's get degrees, so I'm okay with that. But
If anyone's playing this long
slam,
to
I got mine.
Slam Vintage will never fail you. And we have a word from our sponsor, Slam Vintage. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. So for those that don't know what Slam Vintage is, it's my company. I sell vintage clothing. So this hat, this shirt, it's a great way. Like even if you're not into that type of fashion or fashion in general, like but you want to stand out, wear something that someone else doesn't have. It's a great way to like change lanes. You're not gonna go to the mall and buy a Nike shirt that 6 other dudes in your class or 6 other people at the store have.
You calling me out?
Yeah, I rest my case. Yeah, you have the opportunity to wear something unique. Like you kind of almost pick it out yourself. But I take away that step. Like you don't have to go find it yourself. You just go to my site, which is on my Depop. Links will be somewhere. I don't know. I don't do the technology with this. The other guy.
We'll throw your link in here.
Yeah. So you go to my Depop. That one major step that consuming of finding the clothing yourself is taken away. You can just scroll through and be like, oh, I like that shirt. Oh, I like the Bears. Boom. Got a Bears shirt that most likely you're never going to see someone else with. I like the Hawks. Boom. Same thing. And there's also the opportunity where on my Instagram, if you want to, you can shoot me a message. Let me know what you're interested in, because if you want to go that route and wear vintage clothing, there is a lane for everybody. You like movies? Boom. Got it. You like music? They got it. You like TV shows? They got it. So if there's something you're interested in or trying to find, you can shoot me a message. I'll look for it for you. I'll keep a note of it, keep you updated on whether or not I find something in that particular category.
Absolutely. And this year is the year for retro. This year is the year for vintage. I mean, just look at the NHL. Sorry, look at the NHL. The NHL calls them retro reverse, but we'll call it vintage because the SHL game this year is going to be a vintage mashup between 2 teams. The captains have not chosen their teams yet, but they will be defunct teams that are no
Am I
longer
helping
NHL.
find the clothing for that?
If you want to, yeah, absolutely. Mark is a great source for vintage and
Maybe the Toronto Millionaires.
does a great job. That might be a little bit tougher to find, but I'm sure if anybody could, it's Mark Levesque. So definitely get yourself some vintage and go check out Slam Vintage. We'll post the links at the end of this podcast.
Also, if you watch this podcast and shoot me a message on the Instagram or the Depop, even if you have one, and let me know like you came from the podcast, you'll have to, I'll think of a question. What hat was Mark Krasinski wearing throughout the video? What 2 hats? That way I know you actually watched the video, and I'll give you a discount.
You got to give them both. You got to give both answers.
Yeah, you got to get both answers, and I'll give you a discount on the Depop.
I like it.
87% off for Crosby.
What? I got to make money.
Yeah, hold on now. Biz20 promo code, 20% off. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, speaking of Mark Krasinski, that's always going to be my transition now. Speaking of, we're speaking to him right now, and he's going to be speaking to us. It's Hitting the Mark, his gambling corner. What kind of picks do you have for us? This podcast will be airing tomorrow, which is Friday. So Friday night and anything beyond. What do you have?
Oh, I'm not going to be alive Friday night, so I'm going to tell you now what's happening tomorrow night. There's one game. Oh, Mark, by the way, we're all going out tomorrow. I'm dying tomorrow night.
Fair assessment.
And then,
You give the picks. I got to be right back.
Okay.
Keep it going, bud.
I know. I'm waiting for you to fucking leave. I don't think you can't hear us.
Now that he's gone.
So, yeah, tomorrow, if you want to come over, I get home from work around 5. I'm going to start pounding them.
I should be home before that. I think I'm going into work early tomorrow. So not early like I open, but going in at like 7, so I should be home by 3.
My boss wants me to come. Okay. Well, first of all, let's get this over with because the podcast is running long here. Columbus versus Chicago. I don't think they have debris yet. The boys. It's pronounced the boys. The Blue Jackets don't have Lana yet. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
So I think that they're saying Subban is going to be in goal. He's 0-1-1. I hate to say it. I'd like Columbus to win. But watching them play is a struggle. I'll pull up some stats here for you boys. Over-unders for both teams. Blackhawks are 4-4 on the over-under. So, I mean, that's a fucking wash. And then the Blue Jackets are 3-4. They are away. Every time they play away, it's under. They're 1-3 away. They're home, it's over. So they're a good home team, but winning the game, I want to say the Hawks. The Hawks have been playing well, but after coming off Nashville, I think Columbus might come out hot. Even losing the boys. No, it's spelled Dubois, so it's the boys. The boys.
Saturdays are for Du Bois.
You might want to think about taking the under this game. But this one's hard. This one's real hard. They have Columbus as a favorite to win here. I might hop on that Columbus to win. If you want to, I mean, you can't really parlay with anything. I mean, Saturday is where the big slate is. Let's see what I can do here real quick. I'll give you a 2-team big parlay for Saturday night if you're listening. This is the one. Go big on. Let's see here. Shit, there's a lot of games on. Do I bet on Boston?
You have had such bad luck with Boston. This man bets Boston to lose, and they win. He bets Boston to win, and they lose. He bets the under, they go over. He bets the over, they go under.
First game in the 2-team parlay, give me the Flyers beating the Islanders. At -118, I think the Flyers are going to win.
It's going to be a good game, honestly. Tough game. Rematch of last year's Eastern Conference semifinals.
Or here's an even better one. This is even better. 2-team parlay. Take Flyers out of it. They're sketchy. This one's for you, Mark. Take Florida Panthers to win at -1, I think -138, and take Winnipeg to beat Vancouver at -129. Let's see what that math puts us here.
Who are the Panthers playing?
Detroit.
That's a dub. It should be anyways. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm knocking on wood right now. Don't you worry, boys.
So if you take those two teams, it should put you at about +210, 250, something up there. $5 wins you 10, $50 wins you 100. Those two teams are winning. You heard it first. Florida. What's the other team I said?
Florida and Winnipeg.
Oh, Florida and Winnipeg are both winning. Florida's playing Detroit, and Winnipeg is playing the worst defense in the league. The absolute worst.
I'm surprised it's not the Hawks.
In Vancouver. Those are my two. You take those two. I'll have some over-unders if you want them. If you're listening here, if you want over-unders, if you want what I'm taking for the day, message me on Instagram or through the Talking Pylons. Just find a way to contact me. I'll give you all my picks. But that's it. Florida and your Winnipeg Jets to win.
Did you?
Thank you.
You kind of said for people to message you, but do you have any picks for later on next week? Anything you like?
next week. I mean, the game's on every day. So we're going Sunday. Let's see here. We play NHL Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, two teams. St. Louis winning against Anaheim, but those numbers probably won't be good. Buffalo beating the Devils, so you can take that one. Monday, Pittsburgh beating the Rangers. That's going to be a close one, but Tampa Bay beating Nashville. But take Monday, next big one. 2-team parlay again. Montreal.
They've been on a roll this year.
C'est la vie. Right? It's my French for your day. Montreal beating Vancouver.
Parlez-vous français?
Parlay it with
I was
the
gonna say
Vegas
that.
Golden Knights beating San Jose. That's my Monday 2-team parlay.
Oui.
Montreal winning
Monsieur.
and the Knights winning. That's Monday night. You want Tuesday night? This is no research. It's off the top of the head, too.
Go for it.
Give me the Hurricanes beating Chicago. I'm sorry. Carolina's going to beat Chicago. I'm sorry. If something changes, I'll let you know, but I'm sorry. And then give me – that's the only really game I like. You take Carolina Hurricanes to beat Chicago and Montreal to beat Vancouver again. Or you take Pittsburgh to beat the Devils. Those are the three games I like. Wednesday, Tampa Bay beat Detroit. Boston, Philly plays. I'm not touching that game, so take Tampa Bay and the Knights to win on Wednesday, February 3rd. Double parlay it. You get plus even money. Bet 10, win 10. You can bet 5 to win 10. Probably get there. And then there's other games. I don't want to go into it. It's going too far. I don't know how these teams will be playing, but those are the big ones. Like I said, if you want over-unders, I bet on every over-under on every game. So far, most of the times I'm right. I don't have my correct number up, but those are my picks.
And you should all make the pick to take yourselves over to Rosie O'Reilly's this next week, because that is a for sure pick. Talking Pylons is brought to you by Rosie O'Reilly's Irish Pub and Grub, located at North 131 North Gary Avenue in Wheaton, Illinois. Rosie's is your game day destination for all Chicago sports teams and any sports games at this point. You want to make a couple of these bets that Mark's telling you, I would definitely back it. You want to see how those teams play? Get over to Rosie's. These guys went to the School of Greatness, so you know the atmosphere is killer. Best of all, they're an Irish pub, so you know they have the liquor game on lock. And if you gander that I would be a wee bit racist, just know that I'm a quarter Irish, so you can kiss me arse. And if you happen to catch the Joe Fidusters over there anytime soon, drinks are on me. I hate that. Here goes my paycheck. Rosie O'Reilly's just installed new gambling machines, so bring your mask and have some fun in a safe, friendly environment. This is not that pigeon hockey player Ryan O'Reilly. No. This is Rosie O'Reilly's, located just south of the Cosley Zoo and Geneva Road at North 131 North Gary Avenue in Wheaton. Rosie O'Reilly's. Sleeveless shirts are a no-no. Shoes are a must. Try to keep a civil tongue. Please refrain from lust. Enjoy responsibly. Get over to Rosie's, boys. But we're going to get over to next week. We have a couple more updates that we're going to keep under wraps. There will be some SHL news as well as we inch closer into spring and get these teams going for our retro 10th anniversary. Yes, 10 years of the SHL game. And we may have some special guests next week, so stay tuned for that. That's about all I got. Actually, this weekend I will be going to Indianapolis to catch the ECHL affiliates of the Blackhawks called the Indy Fuel. They are allowing fans into the stands, so I will be headed there with a couple friends to catch a game, and it's going to be exciting to see hockey in person again, even if it is ECHL. They're playing Biz Nasty's Wheeling Nailers, so that should be a good game. But that's about all I got going on for me, other than skating. I might go lace up the skates and hit the pond tonight. It's glass, boys. The Napolitano pond is glass.
It's cold.
I don't care. I'm built for it.
Like, I've been shivering this whole time in my basement.
I'm built different. I'm ready for it. I could be out there all night. Don't care. Is it 2 degrees? Don't know. Don't care. Still out there. Anything you boys got for the end of this?
Are we talking about what we got going on in our lives? Like,
You have nothing going on. You never do you? Get your
What?
first produce, right? Shut up. Winnipeg Jets, Florida Panthers, poutine parlay, put everything you want in it. Go in mommy's little purse, take your allowance money, and put it on there. You'll have the money back by Sunday morning, and you go out to the strip club, get your nice hooker. Thank you. That's it for me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just try not to swipe daddy's credit card on my chin here. But yeah. All right, Juicer, Mr. Marc Levesque from Mariano's over there. You got anything else you want to add before we wrap things up?
No, I mean, Mark said it before he cut me off, so.
Solid. All right, boys. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you. We went a little long tonight. Thank you for everybody who's still tuned in. We'll be back next week.
Mark needs to go to bed.
Yeah, I think he's way past his bedtime, or he's on crack. One of the two. I'm not sure.
Boys.
Woo! Well, yes, fun week ahead of us for all the boys here. Hopefully for all you fans too. And we'll catch you next week. Make sure to hit all the links in the description as far as social media accounts. Slam Vintage from Marc Levesque. Thank you to our sponsors, Slam Vintage, Rosie O'Reilly's, No Name Hockey, and Anchor for helping us set up this podcast. So great episode, boys, and we'll see you next week.
Anchor. Fuck you all. Pepper fans.
Tomorrow ye will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.